Good morning, guys. Welcome, Dolly and Kishan and Tracy. Welcome, Brenda and Crystal and Lynn Fernandez. Good morning. You know, I like big people to understand the assignment. And I see some folks say, done share already. Let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. Folks say, I done share already. That means you understand the assignment. It means you understand the assignment. The signals look good at our end. Let us know how you guys are doing this morning. How are you guys faring this morning? Marlon Thomas says, song, boss. Yeah. Thanks, Marlon. Good morning to you and all the folks joining us from Queens and Brooklyn, the folks joining us from New York in general. Tis the season, Marcia Wiles. Tis the season. Marcia, understand the assignment? Marcia Wiles, understand the assignment. Tis the season. And folks, I tell you, you're going to see some things you never see before. You're going to hear some things. You're going to see moonwalk and break dance like you've never seen it before. So pace yourselves for that. Pace yourselves for that, folks. You're going to see a lot of it. Please and thank you. Don't be surprised. Think it not strange. The good book says. Think it not strange. Marcia Wiles, you said it. Tis the season. You see all kind of stuff, you know. We got to weather the storm. Like it or not, we got to weather the storm. Good folks, we got to weather the storm. Please and thank you. Good to have all of you on the live this morning. Thanks to those of you who joined us last evening. Good to have you guys again, Brenda and Odessa Peters and Carl Jacobs and Marcia. Orion Cook, we see you too. Odessa Peters, I done share. I like folks who understand the assignment. You know, sometimes I get a little tardy in some things. But you know, as big people, you know, you live this life long enough. Soon as you wake up, you got to do back. Hit the ground running. Some people got to stretch and they don't know how the day going to turn out. You got things set. You're going to be more productive. You're going to be more successful, accomplishing more of your dreams and your goals and your ambitions. Since you're going to bed, you don't know. When this feet hit the ground in the morning, bop. Things line up and line off. You got to tell us the same thing over and over. Oh, brush your teeth, comb your hair, put on, some proper clothes. Look alive, straighten up. Right. Good morning, folks. To all the folks who understand the assignment, guys, we need your help more than ever, especially in an election year. Right? We need your help. Please and thank you to keep going. Not only to keep going, to go. We got to go to some places to make sure you all get the valid and credible information. The farther out from Georgetown you go, the more things you see, the more things you know. And a lot happening. And we got to shine a spotlight on some of these things. We got to make them known. I want to get into Letem, for instance. $85,000. And that's just the airfare to go. I want to go into some other places. See what's going on. Talk with our people. So that you guys can hear from them. So we can show you some of the issues that they confront. Tis the season. And we got to be ready to move at a moment's notice like that. We got to get ready to move at a moment's notice. This weekend, I wanted to be in Kokwani. I saw a young man doing a live yesterday. We were privileged to be part of it. He was on TikTok in Kokwani, showing us what's going on there with the cash grant distribution. Just a general sense of how it was going. Folks, everything going smooth, praise God. And that's all our benefit. Everything going smooth. Everything going smooth. You got to smoothen it. But the fact is, you had a interregnum. You had a lull between the first tranche, the first phase 1, and now post-budget. They at it again. And it's like they didn't learn nothing. And brothers and sisters, Michaela, John and Daphne, it is so emblematic. Daphne, I got touch base with your mom when I go to Kokwani. But tell her, look out for me. It is so emblematic of this PP administration. It is so emblematic of them. Same thing over and over. They had 23 years before. You had the last 5. How much you get? It's plenty time. Plenty time. And it's like they didn't learn nothing. Then the thief and then the thief and now. The scampish then the scampish now. The corrupt then the corrupt now. It's always a cabal. Cabal. Of them. But you know what? You know what's the difference maker? Social media. They didn't plan for social media. Right? Daphne, they thought these were the days when news is take a long time to meet Kokwani and Karasabai, Kato and those places. Kato and Kato. They thought it was them times. Right? Kobano and so on. This ain't a long time. At a snap of a finger, you know what's going on. Right? You know what's going on. We know what's happening. That's the difference. And that's why we ain't gotta wait 23 years to know how them boys operating. You see for your own eye what's going on. And I'm telling you this. June and John and Annette, Linden, we said this before. If you got $1 trillion budget, Alana Tang, Alana, how you doing? Good to have you on the live, Alana. If memory serves me correctly, Alana is joining us from PK. Sorry there, folks. Alana is joining us from PK, or she knows PK. You know, we got some bugs. I got some spray right by my foot. We try to look them after. As soon as we turn the lights on, like they get more. As soon as we turn the lights up, So we want to get into some other places. I ain't asking you for sell your grandmother TV and send us the money. And you all know we don't ask for much. We always hope that the numbers help us, but they really and truly don't. Some folks look at our audience and see, 500 people are now. If every one of the 500 send $5, you're living like a millionaire. But that's never the case. Maybe 5 from the 500. You know yourself. You know yourself. But that cannot stop us. That cannot stop us, folks. Forward ever. Backward never. Rita Cummins, good morning to you. Forward ever. Backward never. Rowena is one of the hardest working people they got on the East Bank. Never mentions abuse up 1 or 2 times. I done with them. I done with y'all. Right? I done with them. I fed up. And then she keeps on working. Naomi says, if I ain't got on, is this story here now? Some of you want me distraction, So, good morning, folks. How you doing? 'Tis the season. 'Tis the season. I saw Ashrid and Muhammad. More houses in his skin. More houses in his skin. You get a house. You get the house. You. Everybody get a house. Gotta talk to him. I talked to Simona. ALP, my sister. Gotta talk to Ashridin too. Gotta talk to Ashridin too. Gotta know what's going on. What's happening? How you shaping up? Gotta talk to Glenn Lal, my brother Glenn. Gotta talk to Glenn Lal too. Another place for valid, incredible information. Today's Thursday, folks. Later on in the afternoon, you got the Corner Shop show. You know they're lashing Glenn there. Then they're lashing Glenn in the Corner Shop show at 2. But those who are for us are more than those who are against us. We know that they might come out and put up a brave face and landslide, we're gonna be back and we're gonna win again, and it's a bluster. It's a bluster. You gotta fake it till you make it. That's why we gotta keep doing what we're doing and ensuring folks get valid, credible information. Valid and credible information. That's what we got to do, right? Naomi says Muhammad is waging all the cash, or is it wagging? Whichever. Whatever it is. All the cash because he can't put it in a bank. Oh, yeah. Can't put it in a bank. Right? Happy for him. He happy, we happy. We going down the road. We're good to have you guys here with us. It's your cash we worried about. So how do you Das and Tommy Gibbs? Well, it's not coming our way. That's what we worried about. So, as we get closer and closer to this election, we can be less and less in this space here and more out on the road. That's what I wanted. That's one of the things on my bucket list, I want much. I just want a little caring. I could be a good guy. Jack Cure sing it. He said, I swear I could be a better man. I just want a little caring. I want to put on a little backpack. I got my little camera and so on. I got and I said, look at this, Sandra. Look at them Jacobats doing here. Listen what this lady saying, Tommy. Anthony, look at these people over here saying, I want much, but to ensure that you folks get the valid and credible information, as our sister Manzo was in here says, we got to hold them accountable, right? And informed people make informed decisions. Gloria Chester, informed people make informed decisions. And that is what we want to keep their feet to the fire and ensure that we keep on keeping on. But you know what? The other part of it too, we got to pull ourselves together a little bit. Collectively, we got to pull ourselves together a little bit. You must forgive me. Like if the shirt isn't like right up here, I say little brother, but I just want a little caring. This one, making sure it's right there. I feel like a pimp if it's too open. That's just my own little thing. All of us got our own idiosyncrasies, you know. Our little son, Saint Zane, he got plenty. Some trainers got one little thing like they might like play with a blanket. He got but 10,000 little idiosyncrasies. He got for the whole generation. Everything. Right? We're trying to sleep, you got pinch your neck, you gotta, oh man. I just got this little one here. This little Amen. Y'all pray for us this morning. Y'all pray for us. Folks, tis the season. And I'm happy y'all recognizing that. Tis the season, but we got to keep on keeping on. Y'all make sure in y'all entreaties that y'all pray for us. It's Wednesday. If it's Wednesday, somewhere in the world is a Bible study. But yesterday was Wednesday, rather. Today is Thursday. Somewhere in the world, people cast no demons. You Pentecostal, you know the calendar. Thursdays the cast no the demons day. Right? One come on at 2 o'clock in the corner shop show. We got to cast them out, We got to cast them out, chase them out and cast them out. Same thing. Same story. And then Friday's prayer meeting. You in the Pentecostal circles, you understand. Good morning to all my Catholic brothers and sisters. To all my Anglicans, Muslims, Hindus. Right? Whoever you recognize him to be. I hope you recognize somebody upstairs. Good morning, guys. Good to have all of you on the live. And we need more prayers in this world. We need more prayers in this world. Like when I see the US, like I even recognizing it these days. I see some things. I see Trump had his first cabinet meeting. Man was installed into office on January 20th. Had a cabinet meeting yesterday. Right? he like too much of meeting. He got to think too much and think of ideas. He like off the cuff, shoot from the hip. Shoot from the hip. And yesterday, if not the day before, hoping that Ronald Austin Jr. could help us with some of these issues. Y'all talk Ronald, the man, shucks. Was a cataclysmic day in international relations. I know if you all recognize it. And it happened in our lifetimes, Forbes. Claudia Fraser, Marcia Agard. It happened in our lifetime. My church I used to go to. My church, I really haven't gone out back to church fully since COVID subsided. Still with us. Talking about that, my thoughts and prayers with my brother from another mother, Vince Roy Jordan. Messaged him earlier. Not doing too well health-wise. Hearing that he has dengue. I haven't confirmed it with him. That's what I'm saying. We're hearing. I haven't confirmed with him, but he's on my list of things for today, my task. Touch base with my brother. He tries to look like me. But cataclysmic things, our thoughts and prayers with Vince Roy. Gotta get better. I see Margaret says the devil wilding out here. It's true. He wilding out. It was a cataclysmic day. The US abandoned its allies and sided with Russia on Ukraine and some other issues. Sided with Russia. Folks, you ain't got to been there in 1945. I think that was the Second World War, 45. The first one is what? 1916 something? Thereabout. Later. World War I, II. You don't have to be there. Look, you get some free time. I saw somebody just had in the live here. If you got a job or so on, you run down by a neighborhood library. When I lived in Trinidad for a little bit, right behind our house at Piarco had a library. Oh, those were nice days. You just walk around the corner, books. One thing with Trinidad, then people use their money. You had the most up-to-date book, and this was a community library in the back street. You had the most up-to-date books like that. And those folks were so helpful. So when you touch the door, they're ready for you. You know, don't waste your time away. You touch a library and you read up World War I, II. There's one phase of my life, I didn't know too much about Hitler. And so I went through this phase of reading everything I could put my hand on concerning Hitler, concerning the World War II, how we got there. Fascinating reading. And when you see how Hitler marched on Europe, right? Marched on Europe. You see, I was enough. World War I, Gail de Freitas. Thanks, Gail. 1913 to 1914. You see? What picked up from? World War II, 1939 to 45. Wasn't too far up. You see? And the same been to you, Chief. The same trouble. The same been for 10 years. That's why I do it. Been for 10 years. 1940, 1945. Right? When you see what Hitler did, he started with one place. He said, only one that. And then the next one, next door. He said, it's only these two. And then he said, only these three here. Right? You hadn't bothered me. And then it was something else. And then it was France. And then it was... And then, you know when people start getting serious? Don Sullivan, Troy, Lester. You know when people start getting serious? When Hitler started looking across the Atlantic now. When he started watching Great Britain. And then the Americans are saying, well, if Britain falls now, if Britain falls now, we got to take this thing serious. And we said never again will we allow this. This is how the UN came into being, you know. We will never allow this again. Look where we are now. So look what Putin is doing. Trying to rebuild the old Soviet Union. Says 1 is 2 is 3 is 4. And the US, who led this effort? Who led this effort here? Building the UN, the United Nations, abandoned its allies, and said, I can stand by the dictator. I can stand with the autocrat. And we are living in this era. Gloria and Arlene. Right? You know, you're all on Facebook and so on and TikTok. Don't just let me waste my time minding people business currently. Let me look back a little bit too. The internet is a fascinating place. You can't go in a library. You got a whole library right in the palm of your hand. And we learned something new. Some of the readings I didn't, you know, was naturally inclined to it. But I wanted to know more about the world that I live in. And I forced myself. You got to read this damn thing here. You got to read this book. The Hitler of history, the Third Reich, the whole thing of it. Top to bottom. Top to bottom. And this is what is, when you understand now that playbook, when you look at Russia and look at what's happening in Europe, same thing. Same thing. Right? The good book said nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. So there's this Russia, US talks on today in Turkey, in Turkey, and they said in discussing Russia, well, what is it? What is it? So it is fascinating, folks. Fascinating to see what's happening. And this is not just Russia. Massive one Gaza, Trump Gaza. Because now I want to see how the Gaza and Gully people run out. You see, when I don't want to hit young people, or because I ride it too. I'm in the periphery, but I'm still there. Right? I'm on the periphery, but I'm still there. I see somebody sing song. Y'all help us. Is it us, or is it Big Back TV? Right? I see Nick saying song. Is it we, or is it Big Back TV? When you see, let's just watch it. What happens? Crystal clear. Audio, visual. Crystal clear. Trump wanted gas. He said, I can take it up nice hotel, and you don't have to worry about. You got to pay for your security now. If you can't pay for your security, we're not looking out for you. So the US said they're closing in on a deal with Ukraine. They got to give up so much minerals and so on. You want protection, you got to pay. That's mercenary behavior, man. You got to pay. You got to pay. You got to pay. You got to pay. So like we really not going to see this oil money. Like we really not going to see this oil money. Because, I mean, we're a small nation. Venezuela got a large army, large population. Could you imagine? We could have them boys would say, you got to give up some of this thing here. We ain't buying nothing from you. You want me protection on our warships out there, what have you. Top to bottom. Folks, this is the world we're living in. You better understand it. This will determine how much the price you pay for flour. How much you pay for eggs out there. This is what's going to determine it. Don't matter who's sleeping with who and who husband left who and, you know, Lola and Mola and all these things. Alone. We all need some entertainment. Don't bother with it so much. But these are the issues we got to confront. Now, US and Russia meeting in Turkey. What are you talking about? What are these folks talking about? Raquel Gentle says demonic behavior. I started in church earlier. You make me lose my frame of thought now. I started in church early because as Raquel mentioned demonic behavior, what I wanted to get to is years of going to Bible study on Wednesdays and hearing my pastor talk or teach on the revelations and the fall of great nations and so on. You didn't know how it was going to happen because the US was sound and strong. You say this man know we talking. These false prophets. But now you live to see the thing with your own eye. With your own eye, the whole thing laid out right before you. Laid out right before you. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. So I don't know. Trump looked like a Manchurian candidate. That's how he operating, like he get programmed. Right? Because this is just craziness. It's just madness. Next thing you know, we got to pay for our security. These are the times we're living in. If these are not the last days, we close. It's the second to last days. We are extremely close. So you're looking to see what comes out of this thing here with Turkey. Turkey. We're looking to see what happens there. And I don't know if this is because, what's the fella name? The Kennedy fella, the health minister. Isn't he the health secretary? What's the correct designation? The Kennedy fella, man. The one who was against Trump, wanted president to now he in the cabinet, in his cabinet. Measles outbreak, first time in a decade and more in the US. A child died. Is this part of all these things are cutting and rolling back and this and that and measles outbreak? They said that we thought we fixed this problem here. But y'all thought you had your democracy right too, so I don't know. I don't know. Measles outbreak. A child died recently. This is part of the DEI, DIE, DEU, the program that is scrapping now. I saw Apple shareholders say, no. Left it right here. They got a couple sane people still left in this world. Measles outbreak. One of the other things we're looking at. Right? What's the program? They plan to talk about it. DEI. Thank you, G. You and the people country, you're wasting time. The Floridian, G, you and the people country, you're wasting time. Rolling back a whole host of programs. I heard yesterday they're getting set to cut a whole host of people out of the system. Tens of thousands of people out of the system. Right? Because they believe they can do the work more efficiently with less folks. And that's why we were talking about, you don't wait for nobody upskill you, you know. You better upskill yourself. And you know, once you're from Guyana, you got to know a lot of things. You and the people job, you better know for making a tarambal and sell it there for making it in this country here. You better know for making a plant chip, a little cook-up, as a little side hustle. Please and thank you. See, you better get up. Better get up and fix up. Tens of thousands. Right? And a lot of people, you know, I heard Republicans say there, Laverne and Siobhan and Annette, Everett Waveney. A lot of people said, oh, Trump is just talking these things, but he really mean it. And they went to vote for him. There were some of the same people on the bread line or going on the bread line. He really mean it, man. I saw a man, big emblazoned in the back of his t-shirt. Hispanics for Trump. And 2 ICE officers got the carried me off to Guantanamo. Hispanics for Trump. Right? ICE people got you going down the road, sir. And now a lot of folks having buyer's remorse. McGarrel Seville. Buyer's remorse. Apple, the company, the phone, the whatever, laptops and so on, iPad and so on. Apple shareholders said, left with the EI right there. We can die right there. Left with DEI right there. Apple shareholders. Trump telling them to scrap it. He told Apple that. This is a private company. Apple said they'll be investing $500 billion US dollars in the US economy in the coming years. 500 billion. A company. Apple is one of the world's richest company. I don't know if it's the chip company is still ahead of them. NVIDIA, whatever it's called. Whatever it is. 500 billion. A company. And Trump telling them, scrap the DI project. Scrap it. It's discriminatory. It's this, the blah. Measles. Want to get on to some other things this week. Come home now. Y'all know it's been 592. Wap. Pay up your taxes. City Council is encouraging those persons who you gotta pay your tax. Please and thank you. Your rates and taxes. You know, this is why what wanna hear come out of the corner shop show. Encourage your friends to pay the taxes. The only one focus on what the fabrications of what the PNCRO. And you can't see a piece of paper yet, you know. All that they know and who get exempt from tax for GRA and who didn't pay the right thing for the vehicle. They can't show a piece of paper yet. But this allegation that the IC Congress place, $6 billion. But they can talk. I can get it sent to you all. You can hear the press conference. I can send it to you. I got to give you this document. But it never comes. And we must reject that. Right? That's like the Daily News show. Yeah, Daily News. Yeah. That's the show version. It's sheer propaganda. So City Hall wants you to pay its taxes. Pay taxes. This is how the city is run. And then come a time we got to increase what we give to City Hall, as well as them continue to find new ways to generate income. You can't run a city on $1 billion, less than $1 billion. UG got 5,000 students, and UG need but 13, 15, perhaps $20 billion to efficiently run on a yearly basis, tuition and every other things, wages and salaries and all that. But $20 billion. We got a city with over 200,000 inhabitants, and probably another 200,000 pass through, 300,000 at a moment's notice, and you running a city. And then, but we don't appreciate the importance. Them boys now circumventing, not only subventing, circumventing the city. They're bringing their own cleaners, bringing their own this, bringing their own that. Pay City Hall what they are due and let them fulfill their mandate. Let them fulfill their mandate. Good morning to city councillors across the aisle. I would have loved, you know what I would love to see? The PPP councillors bringing the influence of their government to bear and say, you know what? You're got a majority PNC, but we got these programs here. Right? And we're going to encourage our government to fund these programs and help to move the city forward. They're complaining more than anybody else in their government. Their government in power, and the PP council is complaining, and they can click a finger like that and get movement. And then they're complaining more than anything else. I shudder and shiver my timbers when I hear them talking about the corrupt APNU and how corruption, the PNC at City Hall and all of that, one audited and unaudited. And they got the mayor from the same party they claim they don't like. I think they're just jealous PNC, really and truly. They got the mayor sitting down right there, who presided over some of the same alleged mischief that they're propagandizing. Right? Same alleged mischief. But like Claudette, she's the angel. Angels and demons. She's an angel. All of a sudden. Right? And a couple others too. Couple others too. You see? Because for them, once you wear red, all sins forgiven. All sins forgiven. It's wickedness. That's what it is. It's wickedness. Linden overnight saw a pensioner hacked to death. Hacked to death, folks. Wild West country. Wild West country. Pensioner hacked to death. You know. Thoughts and prayers with our colleagues. In it, this is Earl Griffith, 65-year-old Earl Griffith of Wisrock Housing Scheme, found dead with severe chop wounds. Severe chop wounds. Hacked to death. What's going down, folks? Hacked to death. We know more on that, folks. We share with you. Procurement Commission. The good governance people. The good governance people. People full of contradictions. They don't come and talk about how much they are anti-corruption, good governance, transparency and accountability. Right? The Public Procurement Commission says the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority has reviewed the Bellevue Pump Station project. We don't know what is contained in the review. From the transparent people. Right? But all of this is just part of that set piece, you know. To look a certain way. Project stalled for the longest while. We had no malice against anybody, no preconceived notion. What we want was the system to work. That people with the experience and the know-how must get the work. That people who got the ability must get the work. And 2 years later, they improve us around. You go Bellevue, we went twice to check out what's happening there. Nothing going down. And you telling us we wrong. But you for good governance. And you're anti-corruption. And we know by now, by heart, the test for the contract, the man didn't pass nothing. He didn't pass none of the questions. But he get the contract. And the government had ample opportunities to end this contract. Ample opportunities. But see this thing, friends, family, and favorites, they're higher than good governance. That's above good governance. Their friends, family, and favorites, it's higher than corruption. It's above that. Forbes and Karen Black, they had ample time. They had ample time. So when I see some people hold a check, I say, tax me pay. Hope you all go back. Because we want more. Look how we selling ourselves. And that is why I always say, and we know, they held by different standards. Some people literally say, I mind the thieving. Once I get a little, I am mind the thief. But I get in something. That's the mentality. That's the transformational government. Right? And you got things like this emblematic. The Barmere School project, it finished yet? The Barmere Primary School. It finished yet? Has it? I don't know. Has it finished as yet? I don't know. I don't know. It's 4 years now. One school rebuilding. And again, I said, we had no malice. No malice. There was nothing behind our ill intent. Behind our objection to say, these boys, they've done well in entertainment and white party and all black and all pink and all red for the longest while. All red. We ain't got a problem with them. But certainly, building a school, you got to get a level of competency. And even with this contract, there was enough among the other contracts. But we keep turning a blind eye and we come and say, we are for good governance. Shame on you all. Guilty Shera. Shame on you all. Bart Jagvio, Irfan Ali, Nandalal Nashni. Shame on you all. Shame on you all. So the NDCs now saw your girl Sonia Parag. NDC number 51, they're rolling out a project. They're rolling out a project. Whatever happened to Sonia niece? Huh? They want to get hold of drugs at Chameri. What happened to Sonia niece? Don, Jiliji. Jiliji said Costco said DEI is good for them too. Yeah. Thanks very much, Jiliji. What happened to Sonia Parag niece? The one who they get hold with cocaine at St. Jagan International. Whatever happened to her niece? You remember she went for a psychological evaluation because Sonia niece don't push drugs, or she? must have had a moment of lapse. The elevator didn't reach the top floor that specific day when she made that decision. How is she doing? How long is it taking to do a psych evaluation and get the results? Whatever happened to her niece? You remember that? Caught at Chameri International with the drugs. In this one Guyana. You remember we saw her at the cricket? Looking sane as ever. Tonight the black man feeling to party. Bam, bam, bam. You remember we saw the cricket, folks? Unless she mistake me for the hospital. The psych ward. She make a mistake. You know, when you look at some programs announced, you go back to the budget presentation, you go back to the minister's presentation, it wasn't much. You go back to the scrutiny, the estimate, you find it hard to see a correlation. You find it difficult. You hear programs being announced, but they were never catered for in the budget. And you wonder, what's going on? What's happening? One of the things I keep coming back to is them saying that this budget is going to be community oriented. Right? What is the focus of the budget? And so when I heard Orphan Ali and I heard Barack Jagdeo on budget 2025, I was trying to correlate that to what Dubai man, Ashley was presenting. Because I said in this whole presentation, you're going to see as a centerpiece what they say was the focus and the centerpiece of the budget. And then I said, that will now correlate with what the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development has as the thrust of her presentation. They're going to lay out a vision for communities and how the budget will impact the communities. So Irfan spoke about this impact, the focus and so on. Jagdeo followed up. Ashley had his budget, read the budget that Jagdeo prepared. Sonia Parag, as a minister in the government, she had the task of laying out for us what has happened over the last 5 years, because it's an election year, and then to say now how budget 2025 can be the icing on the cake. That structure in the government. How is what they're going to do in 2025 going to be the icing on the cake and bring it home for them? But I am, even that was like it was doing. Listen to what they said the budget was going to be about.
The budget will be characterized by an enhanced focus on community issues that have been raised by people in our numerous engagements when we visit these communities. And for anyone who is objective, you would see that this government has been in almost every community in the country repeatedly. And even if we can't solve all of the issues, and it's impossible to solve all, at least they have a sympathetic ear and they get to meet someone.
Yeah. You know, one of the things you do when you do comprehension, you read a passage, right? You got what they look for, they call it previous knowledge. They assume that you come to this reading with some you, you don't just hatch, you don't just drop, you come to the thing with something. You came to it with something, previous knowledge. You got some idea of whatever they're going to be talking about. And then another thing they look for in comprehension, right? You got to see connection between ideas in this passage or whatever it is. Seeing connections, that's a theme. The student got to be able to see connections. And that's why when I heard what Jack Jones said the budget was going to be about, knowing that he is the one putting this thing together, who's orchestrating it. Because remember, Foreign Finance Minister Jordan said he never think a budget in his life. He never write a budget, put together a budget in his life. And I told you folks we were going to come back to this. Did I tell you that? We were going to come back to this. Budget 2025. So when I heard him, Irfan, I looked for what he said there. It was actually was saying that this is centerpiece. Right? But it reinforced for me that they just talk because they got air in the lungs. Fluff and bluff. You go to Ashley presentation as the government's vision for 2025, and tell me if you see anything that he talk about. Tell me if you see anything that Jack will talk about. And I keep interrogating it all the time. You go to Parag's speech. The minister had 35 minutes. And for 33 minutes, she talked about everything else under the sun. Everything else. What APNU do, didn't do. And for the last 2 minutes, she scrape 2 things. So definitely this thing wasn't there that he talked. This emphasis on communities and all of that. It was not there. And then when you look at some of the things that are being articulated now, which is what we were showing you there, right? You don't see it. She's discussing government service initiative with, but if you go to her presentation in the National Assembly, you can't find that. You go to Ashley presentation, you won't find that. They're making up things now. They're making up things as they go along. Making it up as you go. That's what they're doing. Making it up as you go. Right? Case in point. Police officers conference. Right? Some things sung nice to them. You know. Bribing cops makes you complicit. Bribing a policeman is trying to influence a certain kind of outcome. There's an infraction. You're driving too fast, unlicensed, without seatbelt, something. Right? That's the infraction. And you want a specific outcome. Say, hold this. Right? Pretend you didn't see and you didn't know. You want a certain outcome. They have undue influence on police officers, senior ranks all the time. All the time. That's a different kind of bribing. How come Parag needs not before the courts? Huh? Minister of Local Government needs was held, apprehended, intercepted with cocaine at Cherry Dragon International Airport. She did a psych evaluation for the last 2 years. Free as a bird. And you got men languishing in prison for a little seed, a little fronto, a little marijuana seed, 2-3 seeds, at 3.5 grams, wasting away. They ain't got a big ant in the system to prevail on somebody, send you a little psych evaluation. And this psych evaluation by the Providence Stadium. Languishing and remand. And you talking about bribe? When you call him Paul Slow to get into positions, how he wanted to get into certain positions in the police force. We all this big talk about bribe when. Of course, we shouldn't bribe police officers. Right? But he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. I think that's the adage in law. He who comes, you must come with clean hands, they hand and clean. He had 19 fraud charges that got dropped. The court said there were matters to be tried there. Ashney Singh, Brassington. Private criminal charges were brought against Claudette Singh. Law book fraud, you name it. Who dropped those matters? Withdraw them. Squash them. Struck them down. Who dismissed them? So who complicit in the corruption in this country? Who complicit in it? Who complicit? And at this annual police officers conference, as we wrap up, policemen were urged to support the government beyond 2025. And that's a nice euphemistic way of saying, vote for we. Vote. It's all the army, the same thing. Vote we back in. Vote us back in. And then let me connect it to the Sonia Parag issue. Some of the things mentioned during this conference by Irfan Ali, and we'll get interrogated some more in another broadcast. You would expect to have heard, for instance, from Robeson Ben, who has responsibility for the police force under his portfolio. In his presentation, for instance, in National Assembly during Budget 2025, you would have expected to have heard some precursors in his presentation, or during the scrutiny of the estimates. You have another opportunity now to allow the vision of your government for the police force. But then you hear he gone on to this conference and he talking some stuff. You can see connection to it, to anything else that has come before now. It's just on the spot making up things as you go along. Because you gotta sound cute. You gotta sound cute. Right? Of course, they're gonna think on the stats. Crime is down, this is this, this is that. All manner of things. Some of you all boy during the conference. Police annual conference, Guyana Police Force annual conference.
Nobody is watching anybody. We are just all looking out for each other with these technology, so that it is safer, it is more friendly, and people can enjoy a level of comfort as they shop and enjoy time with their families. Those investments have also helped Lanham and his team to have tremendous success, not only in crime detention, but prosecution and holding people accountable for the crime they would have committed. So, what have we achieved? An overall reduction in serious crime by 12.2%. A 25.9% reduction in murders. A 40.9% decline in robberies. A 12% reduction in robberies with violence. And a 19.1% decrease in larceny from the person. And you need to applaud yourself and celebrate your own accomplishment. These are the facts. These are the stats.
As you go into this presentation some more by Irfan Ali. And some of the thing is just incredible. Because again, you don't hear them. You didn't hear them from Robeson Ben during the most critical period of setting the tone for what the government is going to do in the fiscal year. You didn't hear it. Streamlining of police procedures, data-driven policing, technology and surveillance expansion, community policing, and how they're going to kind of build that out some more. I wish I'd heard Robeson Ben on some of these issues, and then now the latest fad with them is AI. AI policing, artificial intelligence policing, AI. That was a big part. AI now is like how you use salt. You got dash in everything now. Salt and aji and so on. It's a seasoning for everything. Right? You want to sound forward thinking, you want to sound progressive, right? Flavor it a little bit AI. Flavor it a little bit with AI. Men up boat. The syndicatos beating we down. Shooting up our soldiers. Right? AI can't tell me you got to get boat in there. We got to recapitalize the joint services for new age AI. They say, we ain't watching nobody. These are the people who had a minister procure AI back in the days. Remember the spy equipment, Ministry of Health, fella? You remember that? We ain't watching nobody. Oh, they're listening to our conversations all the time. They track you and follow you, surveil you all the time. We ain't watching nobody. It's only for your safety. Trust us. Trust us. We're going to interrogate some more of what he said. Don't want to keep you unduly long. We're going to interrogate some more. We just eclipsed the 1 hour mark. And then young boy run out from under rock now. Schumann. Right? Schumann said the election machinery is most ready, most appropriate, most excellent. He ain't got no trouble with it. Said peace. He got to earn his keep. He got to keep collecting the brown bag. So he can say we got for say. He can say we got for say everything nice. Everything nice. Me got no problem, Chicom. Me got no problem that the EU and the Commonwealth and the Carter Center and everybody else had a lot of observation, recommendation. None were looked at, none were implemented. Me got no problem. Everything nice, man. Everything nice. Only Mingo and Bingo and them boys. Right? They were on the inside, but they didn't know the system impregnable and they tried to rig it. This system is impregnable, but Lowenfield didn't know. He was chief elections officer, but he didn't know. And he tried to break the rules. Right? But Schumann know and Jerry know and so on. National Security Advisor. He know too. He know. Those are the things that happen in Jerry Watch. National Security Advisor. I'd like to see some of his reporting. Some of his advice on national security. So Schumann run out now. He said, Claudette, I with you. I swing by you now. You swing and I swing too. Everything nice. We ain't got a problem with she. Everything nice. We ready, we ready, we ready. We ready. That's what they're saying, folks. That's what they're saying. Thanks for joining us this morning. From the many places, we got close to 1,400 of you on the live this morning. Tracy and Laverne Schumann ran out. Oh, how the indigenous people are disappointed with him. And history going to be harsh to folks like Schumann. Hypocrites and vagabonds. History going to be harsh. He come in, he sell out. And now he find vice again. Nobody asks you a question, you know. Yeah. I bet you come. Folks, that's going to do it for us this morning. I for you come. Nobody didn't ask you a question, you know. Not a question was asked. I put you up. That's the time, folks. And that's the program. We're going to see you guys back here on the next one. Take care. Thanks for joining us, each and every one of you. Marcy and Everil, Sandra, Auntie Sandra, Naomi and Horace. Margaret is here too. Journey with Margaret and Deborah and Jilly G. Jilly G, have a fantastic day. Joel Warren and Dan Graves, Andy. Good to see you, Diane, and all the other folks. Rena, Sabrina. Good to have all of you on the line this morning. That's our time today. That's our program. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe.